Quinn, I worry about certain things.
Uh-huh.
I worry about safety, like friends and family and all that, making sure they're okay. Yeah, personal safety, but I could care less about myself. I care more about my family and friends. Finances, every now and again, that pops up. It's just like, oh, have you thought about paying your taxes? It's like, as much as I put back for my taxes, I always wind up having to pay more than what I have saved up in taxes
Because of course you do.
Because, taxes. Ain't they fun? That's one thing they never teach you in school, that they should. That should be mandatory. I mean, honestly, you're a state. If the school is run by the state, why is the state not teaching you how to pay taxes? The very thing that keeps them going.
I'm still on the whole tick of, how are you going to make me file my taxes and then get mad at me when I do it wrong when you already know how much I owe and you could just tell me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why do I have to file my taxes and get in trouble because I fucked up when you know that I fucked up? So, like, you just...
Yeah. Oh, and also, here's another thing, too. If the taxes are messed up, don't wait, 20 years to come back and be like, that 1 year, back when you did your taxes? Yeah. Well, it turns out it was wrong, so we're going to have to charge you $500,000 for for a refiling fee, and also we're going to need you to pay those back taxes with interest, and
I apparently messed up on my taxes when I was 19, and they recently told me, and they were wanting $2,000, and I was like, okay, just don't give me taxes next year then, because I don't know, I don't actually think I messed up. I don't think there's a way I could have. I had one job and I was a student.
You know what the interesting thing about the IRS is? The IRS, you could find that you've not only filed your taxes right, but you overfiled for your taxes, and that they owe you $50,000, and guess what? They don't have to pay it. They will never pay you back for what you overpaying on your taxes.
I was a student, and I had maybe a job, maybe two, but I might have worked at one place. I don't know how I could have messed up my taxes. All I did was file my W-2, basically.
Don't know. Oh, well, and here's another thing, too. Every year I do my taxes, every year. I always keep track of, my sales and my expenditures and everything. For instance, this house, the rent that I pay on it, plus the utilities, plus a bunch of stuff. And good God, man. This, it gets tiring. It gets tiring having to, you keep track of it all. In which there's actually, you recommended an app to me a while back.
QuickBooks Online?
Yeah, QuickBooks. There's actually a few of those I've looked at, and I'm probably going to start using it next year for my tech. Cause
QuickBooks Online is really, really good. I used to do the tech support for it. If you wanted just to track mileage and things like your expenses, but not have all of your tax things in the same thing, Stride, I think it's Stride on your phone, you can literally set it to track, as soon as you start driving, it keeps track of mileage. If you do a DoorDash or something like that, you're supposed to use that.
Yeah.
And you can keep track of expenses as far as I bought this video game or this utility or
that's another thing too, where we're technically a YouTube gaming / YouTube channel. We actually can write off video games if we play them, and that's technically work.
Yeah, if you use them in the channel, then you can write them off.
100%.
But so that app does just that part of it, and then QuickBooks has a lot more.
Yeah.
You could literally put on there, I have these employees, I paid them this much, give them their forms that they need. But that's if you wanted to go there.
Well, Well, the thing is, I pay people, but
not enough.
It's not enough It's not enough for what is the word? It's not enough to where it can be reported. Them with a
1099 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, where it does not exceed that much yet. I don't have to provide them with a 1099.
You ever did though, QuickBooks Online?
Yes, I will do that. But there's several things I worry about. But
where is this going?
I was going to tie it into something about how taking care of yourself and taking care of those around you. That's paramount, and also just making sure that make sure that you're aware of the dangers of of the world and everything, and how this world's extremely hostile, and that as as chaotic as our world is right now, I would not trade this world for our world in a million years.
I mean, to be fair, in this world, it's kind of like this country, so maybe if we go to a different country, it'd be okay.
Maybe.
We don't know what's happening in the U.S. right now in this country.
I don't even know if the U.S. is actually the U.S. Vlad of Wallachia, he ruled
It's the 1400s right now.
Yeah, so the U.S. actually isn't even a thing.
Well, cool. We'll just go start it ourselves.
Well, actually, the Vikings had discovered it, or not discovered. The natives were here, but the Vikings were the first Europeans over here.
Well, we'll just go to this world then, and we'll do it right this time.
Do it right?
Yeah. We'll take our infinite knowledge of Panda Express and YouTube, and we can make a country out of it.
I don't know about that. Instead, you know what? I'll just be like, hey, leeches don't actually do anything for people? You know what does, though? This miraculous thing called soap.
Don't you know what happened in this country right here? You can't go show them shit like that. They'll think you're a witch.
And I'll just be like, it's not witchcraft.
And then they'll burn you. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah, except here's the thing. I will have the miraculous new invention of guns. Because I'll talk to the local blacksmith and I'll just be like, here's what I want you to do. I want you to make me a small iron tube, and I want you to notch grooves on the inside of it, and I want you to attach to the end of it a compartment where I can insert a metal bead, put in gunpowder behind it, seal it, strike it.
And he's going to be like, what's gunpowder?
Well, no, they're well aware what gunpowder is. Gunpowder was introduced to Europe, and they were taught the techniques of it, I think around the Dark Ages when it was introduced. So, well, they have cannons. So they know exactly what gunpowder is.
You just want a pocket cannon.
Yeah. Yeah, a cannonado. I think they called it, the Italians called it, I believe, a cannonado, I believe is what they called it. I forget.
I don't know history.
I wanted to make a living off of it. I actually wanted to be a history teacher because...
I could see it.
Yeah, I loved history.
But if you're a history teacher, don't you automatically have to be like a football coach too?
No.
I don't make the rules, but every single history teacher I've ever had was a football coach as well.
That was literally the one thing that pissed me off more than anything. We had a football coach, Coach Short. He was an okay coach, but he was always a lifelong assistant coach. They made him history teacher. He is the worst history teacher I have ever had in my entire... Well, second worst. The worst one was the one who flunked me in college and pretty much killed my want and desire to be a history teacher. But Mr. Short, this actually is what mostly inspired me to become a history teacher. I took his class. Mm-hmm. I went into his class. I did everything he asked me to. I failed that class. But then... I took the SOL, or the SOL test at the end of the year, the Standards of Learning. I scored a 592, which is 8 points off of a perfect.
Okay.
And because I scored so well on the test, he begrudgingly, he said, he protested everything. I know this because my mom was a teacher at that school as well, and he said that he shouldn't have to pass me because I passed the SOLs, but... he begrudgingly had to give me a passing grade just so it didn't embarrass him. He was not he was not an actual history professor. They just gave him that job because, honestly, they just wanted him there, be employed there as a coach. That's it. Yeah, goes to show you. They actually don't value history in this country.
The one that I had that was the football coach actually was a pretty good history teacher.
Good.
But it seems like at the school we went to, every single
pep rally.
I don't remember where I was going anymore. I just want to watch Castlevania, man.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Enough dilly-dallying, enough shilly-shallying. Let's just get into it. Here we go. What's up, Fox? Easy.
What the hell are you doing with your life? I'm talking to you, Trevor Belmont, of House Belmont with no living relatives.
This is my little place of peace. I come out here to think sometimes.
Pretty sure your nice little house has a door on it.
I can't always do it at home. You're an actual Belmont. I grew up with stories about your family, but they have a different ending now.
Oh?
They end with, and the Belmonts aren't here to save you anymore. So if you're not good, the monster will come and eat you up.
Christ.
Yes, I'll never see this place again.
I remember thinking the same thing as I left my old house. Places have a strange way of catching back up with you.
That they do.
I suppose
God.
so. Like some roads are circular. This is my town, Belmont. It's my job to pay attention to it.
I have to say, running a town does not sound like it's fun.
It has its little pleasures.
Alright, what are you planning, Saint Germain? What the hell is it?
This way.
You were told where to stay, Saint Germain.
And I absolutely am.
Except that you appear to be in front of me. Why do you think I would believe you were looking for somewhere to piss down here?
Well, I
Sewers are
recently
underground.
spent time in the free imperial city of Frankfurt, where public toilets are often accessed by step.
Huh?
I feel like I just got cock-blocked. I wanted to know what was down there.
I think we all do. I think what's down there is effectively the secret to what is wrong with this town. Sypha.
Hello.
Hello.
I've been watching the Priory for a while now.
Have you? That's nice.
I am very special.
You're also a magician. I have two eyes too.
I prefer not to speak of that.
Why? You've made no secret of it.
There is a thing I am in search of inside the Priory. It is occult in nature. It is quite safe if operated wisely. Yes, I am quite sure something else is going on in there. It stinks of night creature. Oh, that's worrying. You've seen the armbands they wear.
Yes. And now I see this. The alchemical sign for Saturn.
And lead, denoting transformation and redemption.
He was fierce and jealous. We all know the old stories of God and we fear him. But Yeshua the Christ, his sacrifice was a lesson in how to love unconditionally.
Try to find out if you were here for the same reason I was, given the nature of your family business and all.
And what reason is that?
It's personal. I do not.
Yes, you do. Let's all go to the tavern and have a quiet little chat. There won't be any monks in the tavern. And it's just public enough to stop me slitting your throat. Or Sypha setting you on fire.
Oh, he wouldn't really slit your throat. But I could kill you by looking at you.
Archers run out of arrows all the time. I want to see how good you are when it comes down to a blade.
I can't get close.
You want to get close?
So does the enemy.
Never let a vampire come close.
Okay.
That was awful wholesome. Something terrible is gonna happen to them.
Oh boy. I think you might be right. I hope not.
I'll be glad when I finish that. I made it from anise, fennel, and the mystical wormwood root. But nobody remembers because we woke up 3 weeks later somewhere in Latvia.
You asshole! You're saying you invented absinthe.
Priory. What's your interest?
That's pretty much the concoction known as absinthe.
Okay.
Absinthe because of the root. Forget what it's called. Yeah, the wormwood root. It makes you hallucinate.
Sounds like a good time.
I've had absinthe. It's fun. But Jesus Christ, you have too much of it, you will have an interesting time.
Have you heard of the Infinite Corridor?
Yes.
Well, I suppose this was the wrong company to unveil ancient occult secrets in and expect to be impressive. The Infinite Corridor is a route to many other worlds. It's certainly possible that one of them is hell. The jewel has guided me here to the portal. Of course, if I'd known there was a portal under a pile of stones in fucking Livonia, I wouldn't have had to traipse across the entire gaping grey arsehole of Eastern Europe to trick my way past a gaggle of mad monks, would I? Ugh, Christ alive, do you people shit on the grapes?
A night creature landed on a priory that has a portal to other worlds under it. What if that was not an accident?
What if it never left?
Well... shit.
Uh-huh. Exactly. So, yeah. Saint Germain, I figured I knew there was something more to him. I knew he wasn't just like a town charlatan there to hustle people out of their money or anything like that. I knew that there was a purpose for him.
They definitely made it kind of obvious that he had some sort of other thing he was after.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was done in a way that you're not sure what it is. You weren't sure, and you weren't sure if he would somehow know the Belmonts, or if he would have done something for or with the Belmonts in the past, or if his family had ties to the Belmonts, or if he had ties to the Speakers. Not sure. But we know that now, where he's a magician, he sort of has a tie to Sypha, but at the same time, where the occult item in which he was looking for, one of the portals to it, is, in a place where Trevor had been previously, then maybe him and Trevor have a connection there too. And now also the fact that the beast may in fact still be down there, and they're trying to... what if the priory is actually trying to use the beast to open up the Infinite Corridor?
I don't think it's dead, no.
I think it's down there, and I think that they're trying to use its energy that it produces to effectively try and open up the Infinite Corridor to hell and unleash hell on Earth. That's what I think they're going to try and do. Because where they are obsessed with trying to... they're wanting to complete Dracula's ideal. They're wanting to effectively end humanity. Cull humanity. And I don't know what caused them to start thinking this way, but they're using all of the... but the signs that they're using, the alchemic signs, the one they have on their armband for death, the ones that they have all over the place for Saturn, and...
I thought that one meant hell.
Hell, sorry. The alchemic sign for hell, the one of Saturn, and the other one that they talked about, I forget.
They talked about the sickle.
Yeah, the sickle, yes, the sickle and scythe. And
there was another one. But...
yeah, so effectively I think what they're doing is they're going around town, they're carving these into these buildings as sort of because that's the thing about alchemy. Alchemy, in order to truly... it's effectively the same thing that they did in Full Metal Alchemist. You ever seen Full Metal Alchemist?
I've seen what I watched review.
Okay, so in it, there's actually several times throughout the series that they try and make alchemic circles, trigrams, out of towns by specifically placing markers at certain intersects at certain distances away to make a circle, and in turn make trigrams and all the pretty much all the makings of an alchemic circle, and then activating it somehow. I think what they're doing is they're saving up the energy from this creature, the night creature that can do this energy. They're making all of the alchemic circles around town with the symbols, and then they're going to activate it.
Isn't it a thing in Supernatural where there was like either a city or a bunch of different cities that were in a certain formation? That was going to be where Hell opened up.
Pretty much, yes.
Or was that a fan theory? Because I know there's another one that's like there's this many Walmarts in this, and if you trace them together, it's like this.
Yeah, there's several like that. There's actually there's actually one alchemic one that was in the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr. Mm-hmm. It showed like the death of this person was here. This person was here. This person. It pretty much made a perfect like one layer of sacrifices was the circle, and the 5 intersecting ones later were all in the shape of a star. So effectively, they were making like an unholy alchemic sacrifice.
Stuff like that's always cool.
Well, yeah, and I love when they tie stuff together, because there's different forms of alchemy. There's European alchemy, which strings from the alchemic studies of Eastern Europe, but there's also Taoist alchemy, which is based out of China, which is basically the same principle but a different understanding. I've dabbled in like looking into what Taoist alchemy is, and it's actually, you'd be surprised how similar it is. However, their way of thinking of transmutation is something that can happen only in one circle at one given time, whereas Taoist alchemy actually proposes that you can actually connect 2 alchemic circles together at different intersecting points on the different ley lines, and then you can pretty much do the exact same thing. By having a different understanding, you're able to do different things. However, alchemy is pretty much, in a lot of people's minds, pseudoscience, which I think there's some ideals of alchemic exchange that are interesting, but there's no way to like directly power alchemy to work because it's all circles and
it's still fucking cool though.
It is. It's really cool. It's like looking back on ancient witchcraft and stuff like that. It's really, really cool. Also, did you see the Harry Potter game that was announced?
No.
It's not Harry Potter. It's called Hogwarts Legacy. It's literally a game where you create your own wizard or witch, and you basically just go around and do adventures.
I'm in.
I am in too. I want to play that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to end this one here. This was Castlevania Season 3, Episode 5, A Seat of Civilization and Refinement. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully we'll see you all in the next one. But until then, I'm Nate.
I'm Quinn.
We'll see you then. Take care.